Hi everyone, Moj from Push. You may have had a session from me in a school or a college, or you're just watching this because actually you want some key points to something we talk about, which is pretty much everything we talk about. This idea of do what you love what you do. 2,500 years ago, Confucius in ancient China said, choose a job you love and you will never work a day in your life. And it's true. I mean, he knew that way back when. And since then, what have been some of the ways that people have looked at things? Well, the Romans, the word in Latin, negotium, that means not enjoyable activity. Another translation of it is the denial of fun. That was their word for work. You can see where the word business, negotiation kind of originated from, negotium. Not a way to approach jobs, and back then, that's what work was. It was something not to be enjoyed. Another way to look at it is how the Japanese look at it. Karoshi is the Japanese slang word for work. Very commonly used in Japan, and it means death by overwork. That is definitely not an approach you want to take to work. You can have a country with very high job productivity, but the job dissatisfaction amongst individuals can be very low. I really like the way the Danish look at it. The Danish, I'm going to try and pronounce this, you'll see it at the bottom of the screen, but it's Asbeglad. And it's their word for work, their official word. It means work, play. One word merged together. I love that even their word, every time they talk about work, you cannot rip out the word play from it. It shows what an important element it is. And you have to be playful in not just making a choice for a job, but going, do you know what? This job, the role might change over life. I might work for 20 different companies in my life. I might do one career in my life, and then after 10 years, I might do a completely different one. The point is, you've got to make sure you're playful when it comes to deciding what you actually want to do. You're physically, not just mentally, you're going to be mentally there in a job, you're going to be physically there in a job. It's going to affect your body, physically and mentally, when you are outside of the job, your whole work-life balance thing. So you've got to do a job where you feel inspired there, you feel motivated. And think about that thing of play, work play. Any time that you are playing, think about when you're a kid, this idea that play is losing yourself in the moment. Being so focused and present-minded on something that actually it's all about the journey. It's not about thinking when's 5 o'clock coming around, when's 5 o'clock, oh, I've still got another 4 hours. It's losing yourself. I think that's how you recognize something you enjoy, is being so fully focused in it that actually it's the joy of learning. Because that's what play is. Look at when a kid plays, they're constantly learning, constantly failing, trying something out again and going, oh yeah, try that out a different way. That's what a job is. You're going to be expected to learn from failure in a job. You have to. You're going to have to get feedback in a job constantly just to keep your job. People are going to say, I need to give you some feedback on that thing you've been doing. This client said this thing, or oh, if you want that promotion, you've got to come for an appraisal and we need to assess how you've been doing. You're going to have to take feedback from people. You're going to have to evaluate how people find you in the job, but how you feel in the job. So it's only going to come with play. If you can get rid of this idea of actually that a job is a job, think of it as a hobby, because that's why surely you choose hobbies. You get to just play when you do them. All your hobbies, they're about losing yourself in the moment and also trying to get as good as you can at them. You don't call it studying, do you? But that's what you're doing. You're learning. You're actually getting better. Your skills are improving in that thing. So think of it as, this is how you think of do what you love what you do. Think of it as doing a hobby and getting paid for it. And the better you get at that hobby, and you'll want to get good because it is a hobby, you will always be more employable. And there's the word it all really comes down to. You're going to be employable in something. Employability just means how useful you are. You will always be more useful in something with your collection of different elements, your skills, your attitude, your personality. You will always be more useful in something, and you'll develop usefulness in something if it connects to something here. And I don't mean the microphone, by the way. I mean your heart. I mean being passionate about something. You'll always be better at something, and you'll always develop better in something and stand out compared to other people for things and draw other people towards you if you fundamentally enjoy it. And you can lose yourself in it. You don't mind failing a bit, but you relish the idea of understanding failure as a way to get better at things. So you're more willing to throw yourself into things. When you play, you're more willing to throw yourself into things. So That's my advice. Do what you love what you do. It means employability. And employability means usefulness. So that's what you're aiming for. Be as happy and as useful to others as you can possibly be. And you'll develop roundedness. You'll be a rounded person and you will get those things you want from life, I promise you. So that's my advice. Do what you love and love what you do.